Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Chris here. You know, recently there has been a huge influx of videos that feature the top 5 attachments or upgrades or add-ons for people in their tractors, and this challenge has been going around and a lot of people have participated in that. Now, I was not part of that, and honestly I was a little disappointed when I saw it happen because I had already planned on doing a top 5 video. So I was kind of bummed, and then the more I thought about it, I realized, you know what, this is probably the best time to go ahead and still do that video. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my top 5 tractor add-ons, and I hopefully will have a little different spin than maybe what some of the other folks have had. And also, in this video, we will find out who won my 1,000 subscriber giveaway that I posted in my last video. And along those lines, I'd just like to thank everybody who participated, who have commented, who have subscribed and liked these videos and pushed me over that 1,000 subscriber mark. In this world, that's kind of a big deal. Obviously, there's folks that have a lot more than that, but in my little world, it was cause for great celebration. So let's talk about my top 5 add-ons. In a lot of the videos that I've seen in this series, some of the guys have talked about some pretty pricey stuff. And so I thought that I would lean into the idea of smaller add-ons for the tractor, things that somebody like me who doesn't have a huge budget might be able to add onto their tractor and boost their productivity and get the best bang for their buck. So the things that I'm going to talk about, almost all of them fall in the $100 and below price category, or nearly so. One of them is a bit pricier, but I'll talk more about that one too. One of the things you've probably heard over and over from the guys that did this challenge was how hard it was to come up with 5. When you first think about it, you're like, wow, I'm really going to have to concentrate on this, and before you know it, you have a list that's this long, and that was the same with me. So I'm going to start at the bottom of my list and work my way up. It's not exactly in numerical order, but that's how I'm going to work it. And actually, I'm going to start with my bonus item because, well, my list has 6 things on it. So my bonus item, and it is the thing that probably gets used more than any other add-on I have on my tractor, is the steering wheel spinner. Guys, here is my spinner handle. It fits on the steering wheel, and it just makes moving this, well, I can't do it because the tractor's not running, but it certainly makes things easier to steer when you're backing up and you're looking over your shoulder. And as I said, I use this every time I'm on the tractor. There is no other add-on that I use any more frequently than that little ball. This particular add-on was actually given to me by a very good friend. The day that I picked up my tractor, he brought this to me. And so I appreciate that, and it has gotten lots of use. And I have recommended these to other folks. If you watch Ed's live stream at My Cluttered Garage, you may have seen this come up in a discussion, and John Ritter from A Ritter Bit Will Do actually sent one to Ed because he didn't have one. So steering wheel spinner, that is, I would say, a must-have. Let's talk about item number 5, bucket hooks. You know, I don't think I ever did a video on my bucket hooks. I welded these on, and I guess really the reason that I didn't do a video is because nobody really wants to watch this guy weld. But these things are a huge help when you're trying to pick things up. One thing I will say about the bucket hooks, I did something that actually the same friend that gave me the spinner did on his tractor. I thought it was a great idea, and I don't think I've seen it on any other YouTube channels, is I have these 2 hooks up here, but I also have hooks down here. Now, when I first saw that, I thought, well, why would you do that? When they measure your lifting capacity, they measure it from this pin right down here. So these hooks on the back of the bucket are right there at that lifting point. So I think you get a little more lifting power, and it gives you 2 additional attachment points. So if I'm lifting something big, you know, with multiple chains, it's much easier to stabilize that load. So I don't know if I would say that bucket hooks are a must-have add-on, but whether you're going to weld them on or use bolt-on hooks, I'd say that they're well worth your time for a minimal investment. Number 4, side view mirrors. So the next thing are side view mirrors. Now, I bought these side view mirrors online, and I'll put a link to them. Extreme Metal Products is, I think, who sells these things. I bought these after I saw a review of them by Martin on DIY My Way. Martin has a great channel, by the way. I highly recommend that. He does great reviews on any number of products. They're really straightforward, detailed. Can't recommend it enough. It's not all tractor content, but good stuff. Anyway, I bought these, and at the time of Martin's video, they were marketed as made in the USA. Martin gave them a good review. When I got these, I had mixed feelings about them. First of all, after his video, they changed their marketing, and I think some small part of the metal is made in the USA, but the mirrors themselves, I'm pretty sure, are coming from China. It's not a deal breaker, but you know, when somebody's marketing something one way, you know, well, they changed their materials, so kudos to them for that. My other issue was, and this is based on my own ignorance, I don't know that much about magnets. I thought magnets are pretty much made of metal, and they're, you know, like metal. They're not. They're very brittle. And so when I assembled these things, I cracked 2 of the magnets on here. And yeah, since then, I think they've put something in their description online about, you know, don't over tighten. I don't think I did over tighten them. I was just using a Phillips screwdriver. But in the end, I went online, and I'll put a link to these as well. I ordered magnets that were a little bit bigger, a little more holding power, and these things are great. I do take them off when I trailer the tractor just to prevent them from coming off. I really don't think they would. But I spend most of my time on the tractor out taking care of a road that's, you know, a mile long and 20 feet wide. So being able to see cars coming up behind me, that's a huge deal. So big thumbs up for side view mirrors. Okay, item number 3, upgrading the lights. My next thing is lights. The very first thing that I purchased for the tractor was LED headlights to replace the incandescents that were in the headlights. But more importantly than that, because if you've probably seen 100 videos now that talk about how useless the headlights are if you raise the bucket a little bit up off the ground. So I, like many people, added ROPS lights. I have this flood/spotlight on that faces forward. I think it's about a 75 watt. And I have 2 18-watt floods that point backwards. I did a video on these. I'll put a link to that as well. But I have individual buttons for the front and the rear-facing lights. They make a huge difference at night. And if you see my video on the ROP lights, you can see what that is. But if you're going to be using your tractor at night, you definitely want to upgrade the lighting. So I would call ROP lights or some auxiliary lights a must-have. Okay, add-on number 2 is the ratcheting side link. I cannot recommend this ratcheting side link enough. This replaces the standard turnbuckle style side link, and this thing is a game changer. There's a switch here that will switch the direction, but basically you just pull that handle out, and you can adjust that side link, flip the button, and it goes the other way. You can do it under load if you have an attachment or an implement on there, as opposed to having to just try to manually do that. There's no comparison between the two. I believe when I did this, it was a little over $100, maybe $109 for that link. Again, well worth it. The same one that fits the LX2610, I know fits the B2601 and quite a few other models. So if this is available for your tractor, I'd say get it. Okay guys, before we go any further and get to the number 1 item, it's time to see who wins my box of swag for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I've got all kinds of things in this box here. If you want to know what the full inventory is, see my last video. But let's go do the drawing. Let's see who wins. Guys, it's been a little over a week since I posted my video about the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the drawing now. I'm here on my computer, and I'm on this website, commentpicker.com, and I'm going to use that to do the drawing. So I'm going to need my URL from the video. Come down here and paste that in here. I'm going to filter duplicate users. And +9, yeah, that's still 18. I'm going to get the comments. So 44 unique comments. And here we go. Start. Ross on the land. Well, congratulations, Ross. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I will reach out to you, Ross, and we'll get this stuff sent out to you. It would be a Canadian, wouldn't it? Ross, I'm going to make you pay shipping. All right, guys. That's a huge congratulations to Ross. Really couldn't ask for a better guy to win. Ross has been super supportive in my little journey here, and so I'm happy to see him win that. If you didn't win, hang around. My Hoover dealer was pretty nice to me. I've still got a few more things that I'm going to give away in upcoming videos, and I may do a live stream or so. And also, you may have thought I was ragging on Canadians. If you don't know this channel, but it's an ongoing joke with the shipping cost to get things to Canada. I have no problem with Canadians, and I'm more than happy to send this stuff to Ross, so never fear. All right, let's get back to the countdown. All right, here's the moment everybody's been waiting for, I'm sure. My #1 add-on, and this is the one thing that costs a little more than $100, but in my mind is worth every penny and more. Rear hydraulic remotes. Item #1, my go-to item, the one I recommend the most, and it is the one that costs the most, no big surprise there, are those rear hydraulic remote valves. And that's going to also include the levers up here. Those were added on, and I'm going to go ahead and include with that the hydraulic top link as well. That was a separate item, but they're all kind of interconnected. I think all in for this job, I was at either just under or just over $2,000 for the valves, the levers, the hoses, the ram, all in. I did this install myself. There's the video. I'll link it. But this has been a game changer. Anytime that you have to attach something either to the quick hitch or just to an open 3-point hitch, being able to easily and rapidly adjust that with just a lever, man, that makes my life so much easier. Not to mention if I'm out on the road and I'm working my box blade, being able to change the angle without having to get off and twist a handle here and just fight with it. Yeah. Of all the things I've said, and of course, as I said, this is the most expensive one, this would be the one that I would tell you, if you were buying a new tractor, get rear remotes. You will not be sorry. You know, particularly if you've got a deal where you're getting 0% financing, go ahead and roll that in. It is, well, I'm a broken record. It is a game changer, and I cannot recommend the rear remotes enough. I don't even have a third function up front, and as far as I'm concerned, for my purposes, I get a lot more use out of this than I ever would that third function up front. Disclaimer, I probably will get a third function, but yeah, #1, rear hydraulic remotes in conjunction with this hydraulic top link. Okay guys, that's going to wrap this video up. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and seeing what I have to say. Again, a big thank you to everybody who has participated in this channel by liking, subscribing, commenting. If you're new to the channel, I would invite you to subscribe and stick around if you like what you've seen. As always, I appreciate you being here, and I do hope we see you next time.